Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Larissa. I'm changing this a little bit in the sense that I am doing a little world vibe, collective vibe reading for the next week, 2 weeks at the beginning. And then I go into the Enneascopes. So that's tarot readings for each Enneagram type. And remember, like these are general readings. They might not apply to you every week. If you want a personal reading, you can click below. I also do just ones over email and recorded ones, so we don't have to Zoom if you're not into that. I also do Enneagram typing calls, which you can book below. And I woke up this morning with the call to do a bunch more audios and techniques for my channel, which also means I'll be adding ones that aren't on my channel to my Untriggerable as Fuck program, which is an audio library. Basically, it's like a podcast feed where you can just listen to it whenever you have like anxiety or you're feeling upset or you just like have a problem that keeps coming up for you. I continuously upload to that, and I will be uploading a whole bunch more over the next month to both my YouTube and my private paid podcast feed. So if you want to support my work, you found my free stuff useful, you'll find even more stuff that's not on here in that program. And it also helps me to keep doing this and shows me that I am making a difference in some level, and that is worth it. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick collective vibe reading, message for the collective, because like lately I've been feeling like, oh shit, oh shit, here we go again is sort of the vibe I've been, and I really felt it this morning. I just woke up, I don't know, it was like weird. I woke up with just this, okay, here we go again. Feeling, I wasn't panicked about it though, like I would have been like a year ago or something. Okay, so this is the reading that I did, and this aligns with sort of how I've been really feeling, to be honest. So, and this doesn't just feel like it's the message for this week or the next week. It feels like it's the message for phase two, if you will. And that's the vibe I'm getting from this, is a phase two. Oh, here we go again. I drew the Joker. I'm reading this a little bit differently than I read the Enneascopes. So I got the Joker and the hot seat, which is kind of the emperor in this particular deck. But to me, this card, this is like the beginning of a journey, but it's a Pandora's box journey. So it's like he kind of looks like he's got this like wind up toy box, like it's a labyrinth, and he's almost like a Jack in the Box sort of energy with all of these different faces, all of these multiplicities, and then we have the globe. And it almost looks like it's on a yo-yo string in this one. He's holding like pearls, but it kind of from a distance looks like a yo-yo string, and that's how I'm interpreting it. And then we have the dice. He's got like a little flower, a little tulip in his hat, actually, and tulips are sort of like spring. So I want to say this is sort of the next, this is the winter, okay? I might actually do longer readings for upcoming months because I do them anyways just for myself. So I might put them on here if you're interested. But, and here's where I get some unsubscribes. I see the globe like this symbolically as deception, because if you know the actual history of NASA, it's a lie. The whole entire thing is a lie. Not saying that it doesn't exist, it does exist, but if you look into the actual history of it and what the meaning of NASA is and all of the occult symbolism and everything behind it, it's a mirage. It is a delusion. It is a distraction. And so with the yo-yo sort of effect to it, I feel like it's, to me, it's like Pandora's box. Okay, it's like Pandora's box is like opening and don't know which way to look. Oh my God, what's true? What's not true? Who do I believe? Who do I not believe? Like who's lying? Who's telling the truth? And then it's like almost this energy, and this was reflected in the final card that I drew, and that's the Guardian, which is the enemy, the destroyer of the enemy of the truth. So I want to say that it's like, oh, my thing just froze. No. It's like we're going to be going into this paradigm of, I mean, we're already in this paradigm, but I feel that it's going to be ramped up, where it's like, truth. No, 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 you don't get to know the truth. Deception. Slam dunk, pushing it down. And they do that algorithmically. They do that with fact checking. They do that. um, you can get arrested now. It's misinformation to say anything against what we're told. And I do feel that is going to just ramp up, and that's what this is saying. I'm reading like a lot into this, but this is the vibe that I'm getting. And with the dice, I feel like the dice is sort of like roll the dice. Like it can go any way. Like I just think it's going to be madness. Like it's going to be snake eyes. It's going to be 6. It's going to be 3. It's like, do you know what I mean? It just has this energy to me of chaos. And with the tulip, again, I think that this is probably speaking to the winter, but I might do longer readings upcoming. So going into the spring. And it's telling you to keep your bearings. Like basically treat it as an adventure. Don't take it too seriously. Treat it more as like the dice energy, like a game. Like, okay, well, okay, I planned this and I'm gonna have to, oh, that didn't work out. Okay, roll the dice, go in a new direction. Like that's sort of what it's saying to me. And also with the globe, I want to say that this could be related to them heating up, the hot seat, heating up with this whole climate change narrative, which if you've done any research, is to usher us into a control system, a smart control system where they can cut off your energy and basically tell you that you can't eat because you've used up all your carbon credits, social credit system. And they're using the climate and guilt and fear to usher it unless people wake up. And I will do a reading for choose your own adventure. How's this going to turn out at some point? Probably. If you're interested, let me know below. I might be the only one interested. Hot seat, also emperor. This is the emperor. And this to me, like how I did this reading is like not usually how I do them, but sometimes these 3 came out first. Okay, this is a vibe, right? And then these 3 came out, and there's a lot of fire energy in this, and then these came out after. And I feel like it's almost like as above so below is how I'm seeing it. Is like it's like this is what's happening topside, is this chaos, and it looks like that, like he's on this like earthly plane, and then there's like a kind of watery globy thing behind him. And I do feel like this is like us, and I almost want to say it's like we're kind of court jesters in some ways too, because it's like, what's gonna happen? We're just dancing monkeys. But I do feel like it's telling you to keep that energy, actually, but keep it in a sense of not naivete, but more of just like a light foot, light foot against this hot, searing underneath the surface stuff that's going on. And this card to me is very Game of Thrones with the Emperor and like hot seat. It's like, this isn't a throne you want to sit on. Like, this is a power position where the person is creating like dark fucking karma for themselves. I do feel like this is war energy for sure. There's like, it's almost like a cosmic solar lava. Um, it's like how I see it is like the top cards are like the 99% and the bottom cards are the 1%. And this is like playing with fire. This is like, it's like they have a throne, but they're burning their ass. Like they're literally being consumed by flame with how they're leading. And this is not specific to any particular leader, but I am viewing it as the 1%, where it's like they're playing with dark forces, and it's going to bite them. It's going to come to burn them in the ass. And so our kind of message, our task is to not fall into the same energy as they are, which is polarity, duality, anger, hatred. It's tough. It's tough when things get really bad to not be angry. And you can be angry, but to not spray it on other people, because then you're creating karma. You're creating negative karma everywhere you go. And like, something that I personally have to manage, because I like getting salty with people. But I feel like this is saying like, now's the time more to move into this energy. Amusement. This is also actually a fire element, but it's a positive fire element. It's like togetherness. This is play. This is fun. This is also a card of letting go. And I think what this is speaking to is like letting go of fear, letting go of materiality, letting go of scarcity, letting go of we won't have enough letting go of, and I'm not saying be like foolish and like, run through the streets naked and although maybe that's the vibe for you. Um, but I think it's communing with people. It's like if last time you last time, like, because I really do think this is a phase too of whatever they're going to do. If you were one of the people, I fell into the fear paradigm, so I'm not judging, who didn't want to see people and hid and all of this. I saying like, don't go into that energy. It's like, to me, this is what's happening underneath is ally. This is the devil in this deck, and this guy is like not your friend. And because it's like with the hot seat, the emperor, it's like, to me, this is like corrupt leader combo, like 100%. Like this is like, follow me, little one, I'll tell you exactly what to do. Just follow me up the lava road into your into hell. Follow me to death, little honey bunny. I'll save you. I'm your ally. I'm your, look at him, he's wearing like a crown of like fucking skulls and monkey heads, and he's like spewing blood lava, and he's got like forked these piping hot pokers. But upstairs, it's like the Fool. I mean, and I mean, this could be, with the deception aspect of this could be some people are being fools. Like they're like, ah, I don't know what's going on. Even though I do think it's saying to you to be more of light about it. Um, but I think it's also saying like, don't trust these people, trust these people, or like don't trust them, but like lean into the community aspect, like lean into the togetherness, love, unity, play, and letting go of maybe like the past, like maybe letting go of what was created in this absolute hell pit energy. Like, because like holding on to that karmically is not good for your energy, your spirit, your path. Holding on to like the effects of what this energy did to other people is hard. It's hard to let go of some of the stuff that's happened. Really hard. But I think that like the only way out to not fall into this trap is to not be in that energy, because like, to me, again, this is like 99% versus 1%, and like the 1% energy is like unbridled scarcity and greed and hatred and anger. Like those people do not like other people. They don't care. They don't know what love is. They're full of hate and fear and scarcity, and so they manifest that into our reality because they're into occult magic. They know how to do all like fucking manifestation laws of the universe. Like I've been learning about all this stuff over the last 3 years, and as soon as I realized like, oh, this is what the 1% are using to create this reality, I need to learn it too so that I can create a different reality over that. And so I think that that's what this is also saying, is like, create the reality you want to live in. Don't buy into these fear paradigms. And we have Shiva, pillar fire. So again, another fire. And we have it with the guardian. And the guardian, like I said, is like the eater of or it's the destroyer of the eater of truth. So this circles back to this like deception, sort of manipulation, playing with fear, playing with scarcity to get people to do certain things. And it's like, even these people they can't outrun the true laws of the universe. They're not God, they're playing God, but they can't outrun like actual God. Like whatever your feeling is about that. Like I personally like think we live in like a kind of cosmic simulation. So, but to me, this almost represents it's like, well, he's like the guardian of reality. It's like you can only press him so far before, you know, there's gonna be pushback. It's like a little kid. It's like when you have little kids in a playground. It's like you let them run around and do all of their insanity, but as soon as they start like really getting, carried away, like pushing kids off jungle gyms and stuff, breaking necks, then you got to step in. So it's almost like I feel like that's what this is. It's like He's like rising up from even below. He's like rising up from like to like, so I do feel like this also might speak to some kind of level of justice, especially if people are not having it this time. If people are not buying into whatever this is and whatever this especially I want to go back to this globe and like again with the fire, it's like does speak to me of like this climate change agenda narrative of like they're going to be pushing that. I know it's winter here, so fire might be unlikely, but I do feel like it's um yeah. And then Shiva, the pillar of fire. And this is like these two cards together, like these are both transfiguration, transmuting, enlightenment. So I feel like it's almost like that fire energy is like trying, it's like this reality can't force its way up. It can't force its way into this, like this darkness can't force its way up. It's like it's met with too much now. It's met with flow, with the water. It's met with this beautiful pink mist, this transmutation. It's like this can't exist when we're in the energy of this, like celebration, love, community, togetherness, like not falling into fear paradigms. It's like it can't win if you won't play the polarity game, if you won't play the deception game, if you won't let them like drag you into hell. They can't drag you into hell. And that's like actually like I'm dropping, I guess it's really gone off the rails, um occult stuff, but it's like they have to show you what they're doing, because if you don't fight back, if you don't actively, enough people don't actively do something, they take it as permission um for what they're doing, and that they in their mind absolves them karmically of what they're doing. These 1% are freeze. So um and I think that that's why Elon Musk uh, is kind of the trickster archetype. Like, I think that's he's playing a role of like, I'm telling people like parts of the truth. I'm telling people what I might think about this stuff, but I'm still going to create Neuralink, Neuralace, Starlink, all of these things to keep people trapped. But they're going to choose to do it because it's fun. Because I'm Elon Musk. I'm the Tesla guy. I make flamethrowers. I'm into space, even though I know space is fake. um, so yeah, I think that the message for this is that there is going to be a comeuppance for whatever's going on. So like if you're like me and like feeling like what the fuck, like when is this gonna end? When are people gonna wake up? I think that this is saying to me, like with the destroyer of the eater of truth is gonna come out. And so I think when the truth comes out, and I do think because of the tulip that this is like a winter reading, even though it's a very short one that I'm doing. I think that it's like it can't, like it literally can't go on much longer. Like people aren't going to have it anymore. People want to feel happy. People want to have fun. People want to have abundance and community and love and joy in their heart. And I do think maybe this is the message I needed to hear. I don't even know if I should honestly post this because this is, but you know what? I think things are going to get crazy again. So, and that really like just demonstrated with the reading. So shit or get off the pot or whatever it is. If you can't stand the heat, get out of my kitchen, I guess. Because I took a break from all of this stuff, but anyway. Okay. All right. Reading for Enneagram 1. Oh, okay. All right, 1. So I the vibe I'm getting off this is it's almost like maybe you want to break bad or something. Maybe you want to break bad in pursuit of your passion, your career. There's a lot of wands that came out, and there's a lot of this kind of stop start energy, this like trying to get something off the ground, going for it, and then it's like flat energy or sitting energy or repose. So I almost feel like this is like showing the overall vibe is this like you've been trying to do something, or you've been wanting to do something, or you are doing something, and it's just like it's like you get partway there, and then it's like the bottom falls out, or it's like something happens in your life, or there's red tape. I do want to say, yeah, I almost feel like, because I drew these cards out for you, that's King of Swords, and then um the Nine of Wands, and it's almost like I want to say you're like almost like burned out by red tape or following rules. I know not all ones are follow all the rules, and ones are their own guidance function, right? They create their own rules, but it could even be like um it's almost like you're trying too hard to do things within the bounds of like tradition, or like how you're supposed to do things, or like, not getting in trouble, or skirting, like trying not to overstep boundaries in the realm of, like, again, like career, your passion, your ambition. It's like you're trying to do things the right way, and I want to say you're like kind of burned out by it. It's like I mean, Ten of Wands is more of a burnout card, but nine's like on the verge of burnout. Like he's got his like wand, he's got his achievements, um, but he's got like a bandage around his head. He's like tired. He's like, fuck, man, I did all of the things the right way. I did everything I was supposed to do. I dotted my I's, I crossed my T's, whatever that thing is, and I'm stuck. Like I'm still here, and maybe, and this is like also like a leader energy, so it's like you were probably taking action, you were probably doing things again like you were supposed to do them, and it's just like feels like it's been taking forever. However, I did draw the Six of Wands and Death and Queen of Wands, and okay, almost want to say that what this is saying to you is like, if you want accolades, or if you want to really get ahead, I mean, this could be you literally being recognized in the next week or two, or you're like in that energy right now, being recognized, being people appreciating your talents, your offers, like whatever you've been doing, um, recognition, some realm. But I almost want to say, because these came out together, it's like, and Queen of Wands is like unconventional. She's sexy, she's naughty, she's got a black cat. There's supposed to be bad luck, but she doesn't care. She kind of even has like single bitch energy, with her, the way that she's sitting. It's like she has lovers, she doesn't care. She's got her sunflower. She's got like a devious look on her face. And with death, because death is like, letting go of something dying, a habit, a behavior, a belief system. And because in this death card, you can see he's like gone full Skeletor mode, and it's like a priest. It's like priest and a king, and what with the children? What about the children? And he's just like, I don't fucking care. I want to say it's like almost like, if this resonates with you, that you've been trying to do something and you just keep hitting this like stop start, or you keep hitting red tape or brick walls. I think this is saying, like, if you really want to get ahead, okay, break bad, don't follow the rules. Because death is like, you gotta like get rid of something's gonna die, a transformation needs to occur. So if what you've been doing has not been working for you, you need to do it a different way. And sometimes a different way, we don't want to go too wild sometimes, but uh, it can mean moving in the opposite direction. So if you've been more like King of Swords about it, like logical, following the rules, decisive, um, traditional society, I do what society wants, do things the right way. I think that it's saying like the secret to my success, um, is I'm winning. Wait, what is that song? That Hades song? Whatever. Um, is I think it's like break bad, honey. Be a little naughty. Do something different. Red tape. Wear it like a sash. You know what I mean? Red tape, schmed tape. Oh, he's already got it like a sash. on his wreath. This is him. This is him and his red tape. Thank you for the ribbon, but I don't actually, red tape isn't for me. Okay, it's for other people, it's not for me. So I want to say it, yeah, it's like channel your like your Queen of Wands, bitch. Get after it, do what you want, be unconventional. Don't worry about like the people like no, or the people even it might be a projection, right? These people who will be like, that's the wrong thing, you didn't do it the right way, or like people that might be hurt or something. But and I'm not saying hurt people, but I think that if like you're in your passion and you keep hitting walls and you're like, no, this is what I want, this is where I want to be successful, this is my career, this is whatever, then it's like be disruptive, be unconventional, don't follow the rules, do something different. So it might not even mean Breaking Bad, it might just mean we're breaking some rules. Maybe they're your own rules, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go Skeletor mode, although I always support going Skeletor mode. I feel like it's good for the soul to go dark side sometimes. Um, and then, yeah, so too many cards came out here. So let's just have a look. So yeah, it's interesting sort of what came out after, because it's almost like the sort of opposing messages in some ways, because it's like we have the Knight of Wands, which is kind of an Enneagram 7 card in some ways. So maybe this is like access your line to 7, especially if you're Breaking Bad. This guy's charging in. He's cocky. He's ambitious. He's passionate. He's got the drive. He's wearing a ridiculous, like his outfit's ridiculous. Like what is he even wearing? It almost looks leopard print in the small picture. and and this guy here is like kind of, he's stuck in the planning phase, he's stuck in the strategizing. I'll be happy when I'll do this when I'll do this when, and this to me is saying no, do it now. Like don't do it when, do it now. Like stop dreaming, stop overthinking your dreams, your passion. If it's your passion, then you gotta go for it, you gotta do it. But then we also have the Page of Swords, who is kind of like almost like a card that's almost warning you, like, don't get too cocky, don't get too carried away. You still have a little bit to learn. You still you might cut yourself, you know what I mean? And then we have the Five of Cups, which is kind of like one of the tantrum, like baby cards, like, oh, why does nothing ever work out for me? So it's like, I almost think this is like giving this advice of like, break some rules, get after it, move out of the red tape energy. And like how you move out of the red tape energy is by cut the red tape. So what? Red tape, schmed tape. Like sometimes you just got to do it, right? Sometimes red tape is in the mind, not like real. But then there's also this like almost like warning that's like, but don't get too carried away so that you don't like fuck yourself over basically, and then end up like crying over spilled milk, over like failure, or so that you like knock over all your cups. Do you know what I mean? So it is, this is, yeah, the message that I'm getting is like, is to like line to 7, but not so hard that you completely fucking ruin your life. All right, so the too long didn't read it version of this reading is that if you've been feeling stuck in red tape, if you've been feeling burned out, feeling like blocked, break bad. Line to 7, Enneagram 1, you can line to 7, go chaos mode. The way to success, the way out of the stagnancy or the way out of these blockages is to tap into your boss bitch, chaos demon self, get after it, move out of planning, move out of strategizing, moving out of the red tape thing, and like just taking action towards what you want. But don't get so crazy and carried away that you literally lose your shit in the process. Don't go so far line to seven that you lose your shirt, that you lose all your cups, that you like destroy everything. So I think that this is telling you maybe you've had this rising impulse inside of you to just break bad, and it's like saying, yeah, do it, but don't do it so hard that like there's no coming back from it. Okay, and this is your oracle message. Enneagram 1. Oh, the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So I want to say that this maybe is like just like an elaboration on the energy we saw, because there was so much fire energy, so much wand energy, that this is saying like don't get so carried away that you become like, you know, like zealous, zealot, like an angry nutbag when you line to seven, making sure that you're like, because not you know, most ones like really keep themselves in check, but I love Jordan Peterson, but you know, he can get on his pulpit like, oh, da, da, like make your bed. uh so I think that this is almost just like, you know, get after what you want, break the rules, line to seven, but don't become a dictator, um or else you'll be preaching to an empty canyon. There won't be anyone there to celebrate you with your wreath. I get an Enneagram 2. All right, so for you, I drew the King of Cups. And this is a manifester card, like not really in the same way that the Magician is. It's like he's a guy who knows how to manifest. Like he just does it. He manifests what he wants, whether that's relationships or in the material world. It's like he's invested his energy and focus into this cup. So this could be relationships, you know, and he had his ideas, his vision about how this would go. And then we have, it's almost like that same golden beam, like almost tracking through these three cards, where it's like Ten of Cups is like, you know, this is a great like fulfillment card, um getting what you want, especially when it comes to like relationships, love, family, and there's like a family in this, so it could be like something happening in the family realm this week, or like your loved ones. Six of Pentacles is like as power dynamics to me, giving and taking, giving and receiving, like who's got the power, uh is there an imbalance, is there a codependency? And then Six of Swords is the refugee card. It's moving on, and it can be like moving on from something, like in a metaphorical sense, or like letting go of something, putting something in the rearview mirror that's not helping you. But it could also be literally moving. It could be literally moving from one place to another. Or with swords, it's like it could be thinking about moving, thinking about leaving, thinking about kicking someone out, thinking about leaving a situation in which there could be like some kind of codependence. You manifested what you wanted. You made your dream life, or you made a version of the dream. And there's three of you. It's like a mom, a dad, and a kid. So, and there's some cats, there's some pets. It's like manifesting this dream life. You got the end of your storybook. You got to the end of the movie, you got the marriage, you got the kids, you got the whatever it is. Like this is metaphorically, or literally perhaps. Um, we're one big happy family. And then it's like the Six of Pentacles. It's almost like in this thing, it's like raining money. It's like showering money, and it's like this girl. One of the woman is like looking up, praying to the money, and the tiger daddy is like holding the money up above her, like raining it down on her. So I want to say like this is getting pretty specific, so I don't know how many twos this will resonate with, but um it's like if there's, you know, you could be the masculine energy in this, or you could be the female energy in this, which is like either the give, like the giver, the breadwinner, the one who's holding the coins, if you will, the one who controls the money, or you could be the one who receives the money, the one who like needs the other person to get their allowance, if you will. But there is this kind of energy of codependency or imbalance, that maybe wasn't part of the manifested dream. Like that maybe is, it's almost like I feel like it's after the storybook ending. It's like this is the storybook ending that you made happen, and now there's this imbalance and within that dynamic, whether that's with like a partner, a kid, um a roommate, like whatever your situation is, a pet, maybe your cat doms you, I don't know. I mean, it could be with the tiger. Are you a bitch for your cat too? um and then the Six of Swords, it's almost like it's like this god's face is like blowing blue dust into this guy's eyes, and he's trying to block it. It's almost like getting dust in your eyes. It's like something has kind of wrecked this, or tainted it or something, this sort of fairy book ending, this storybook ending. It's like, and he can't stop looking at it either, or he's like constantly trying to block it. He's like constantly trying to deal with this problem that keeps interrupting this storybook ending. It's like, get the fuck out of my storybook ending. um and while he's doing that, it's like his boat's filling with water. There's swords that have probably like poked holes in it while he's been focused on this thing. And then it's like in each picture after, there's like this golden thing above them. In this one, it's like this kind of tree, sacred geometry, tree of life, golden, elixir flowing over them, like that, which to me is like abundance. It's like this flowing, beautiful abundance, like hope, excitement, for the future, joy. And then it's like this shining coin, which is like money, obviously, but it's also 3D reality. It's like the job, the chores, the day to day shit. And then this one's the golden baby, and it's, yeah, I do feel like it is like this, I don't know, like disillusionment of some kind related to what you've manifested, like your dream life. And because the Six of Swords is also, Six of Swords is also like moving. It could be like you thinking about moving, or you thinking about, whether it actualizes this week or next week, or if it's just like these thoughts happening in the back of your head where it's like, ugh, do I really want to stay in this? Is this really what I wanted? Do I want to leave? Do I want to leave this dynamic, this person? Do I want to kick them out? Do I want to, is there something else out there? It's like this guy is both like tempting him and annoying him. It's like this person that keeps putting their face into the manifested reality to be like, accept this, accept this, accept this, accept this, like, see, do you, but what about this? Like, it's not really exactly what you wanted though, is it? And it's like this guy's just like, oh, like, let me just have my manifested reality already. So it could again have something to do with like money, 3D reality, kids, even with this baby or like, a person who has like a childlike energy, or like a dependency, that's kind of like fucking up your manifestation, or it's like you're dependent in some way, and so that's fucking up your manifestation, like you having to, um, collaborate in some manner, or be, um, reliant on somebody else for something, which probably isn't very comfortable for twos. So I don't know how many of you would actually be in that situation. And then we have the King of Wands and the Sacred Clown. So King of Wands is, you've been having a lot of like passion readings, like, or a lot of like following your dreams, stepping into like what you really want. So I almost, maybe there's like either like a disappointment from that, or it's like this continuous background thing that's been going on that's now like rearing up into your awareness again, or it's like been in your awareness and now there's like something happening, uh that you can't ignore this week, especially with this guy, where it's like he's blocking him from moving forward. And it's like I almost feel like again, it's like he's trying to like because King of Wands is like, king of ambition, king of his passions. He's like a it's not really my CEO card, but he is like a sort of like an entrepreneurial kind of energy. But then there's like all these little baby squids in the background hovering around, like almost like I feel like bothering him, like getting in his way. So whatever this like child energy is, which again, it might not be an actual child, but it could be like a child energy where it's almost like fucking up your manifestation. This kid, like, or this like dependency, it's like just like how do I get away from it? It's like I manifested this and I wanted this, but and now it's like getting in my fucking up my jam. It's getting in my way. Uh getting in my way from like you see all these little octopus babies. It's like, oh, I just so we have a Sacred Clown and Seven of Cups. And Seven of Cups is like a lot of options. And Sacred Clown is like the Fool. It's like starting something new, taking a new journey, taking a risk. So and because he like he's sort of it's like he King of Cups manifested in the past. Like he made his desires come true, especially in like the relationship realm, um the cups realm. So emotional relationship, creating that thing. Um and then it's almost like the 3D reality is what screwed that up. Like the pentacles, the finances, the dependency, or whatever, that has sort of screwed that up. And so um, he, this is active manifesting. Like he's post manifested and he is active manifesting. So I want to say it's like taking that manifesting energy. I feel like I keep getting manifesting stuff for twos every week. Um, where it's like, okay, now you have to like remanifest, basically remanifest and take a risk. So it's like if this isn't working, because it's like the imagery in this one, it's like kind of mirrors a bunch of this. So it's like almost like creating the next version of whatever this manifested fairy book ending is. It's like, okay, time to revisit the fairy book ending, basically. Time to revisit the storybook ending. It's like, what do I actually, is this still working for me? And I think with like the Six of Swords too, this could mean like letting something go. This could mean moving. This could be um, moving on, um, changing something. This is like stranger in a strange land, like going from one physical reality, one country to another reality to another country where you don't know the same language. Like but because you're such a huge manifester, you'll figure it out. Like you manifested this reality, this situation you're in, you can manifest the next one. So this does feel like a focus on like next steps or moving out of a kind of codependency, um, and or like, uneven dynamic. And with the wands, King of Wands, like this could also be speaking to that independence. I think that might be needed if there is like some kind of unhealthy dynamic. Um, so the way out of it, the way to the Fool energy, to the new adventure, I think is like tapping into independence and that manifesting ability that you already have like proven to yourself that's possible for you, that you're capable of. And you have many options, it's showing. So it's just like picking the shiniest option to you and just it's like, okay, you manifested that one storybook ending, now you manifest a new storybook ending. The story is never completely over, right? The story continues even after this, even after the book is over. The characters continue living their life, right? So I think that this is more just like recalibrating the dream. And yeah, perhaps like severing in some way, even if it's just like emotionally or energetically severing sort of with the responsibility for these like little these little alien fetus things. So whoever that is in your life, if that's like you're taking care of other people, you're responsible for other people, or you just feel responsible for other people, it's like maybe allowing yourself to have some kind of more independence and them to have more independence. And by doing that, you open up this new portal, this new energy, this new doorway for you to manifest your next storybook ending. um yeah. And I'll do a little oracle final message for twos. The cosmic heart. Oh, I love that. That really like fits. Devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Sort of a 2-y card. The cosmic heart. So yeah, this kind of just mirrors that manifestation possibility energy. So your gift is devotion. Your gift is like that potent devotion in the heart space. But make your life a moving prayer. So that's like, but keep it turning, keep it flowing, keep it serving, keep it but serving you too, so that it's like, you know, a cycle, like a river feeding itself. And you're not getting stuck in one place, like, you know, metaphorically or physically, where it's like your cosmic heart is becoming stagnant because you manifested and then you stopped manifesting. So this is telling you to manifest that next chapter again, and just like, yeah, if the storybook ending has gone stale, if now in your cottage, your little fairy cottage, it's very dusty and dark and you don't hear the birds sing anymore outside your window, then start figuring out where the stagnancy is, how to change that, and how to create the next chapter. Enneagram reading is for type 3. What does type 3 need to know for this week and next week? King of Pentacles. That's a pretty good card for 3. That is a 3-ish card. You are the Joneses. You became the Joneses you were trying to keep up with. You made the dream a reality. Sitting on your couch high above the mortal coil with your possessions, with your Yves Saint Laurent monocle. Oh, okay. Oh. But you're not satisfied anymore. Oh wow, these ones are really popping for 3 today. Okay. Okay, but as always, it seems to always work out for 3. Okay, so yeah, this is you. And this does seem like an attainment card, or like you've been living the life. You like basically it's like you've been living the life. This is weird. This is almost mirroring the type 2 reading a little bit. If you're a 3 wing 2, maybe listen to that one. But it is almost like, okay, you manifested, you got what you wanted, you created the goal, you achieved the goal, or you got far enough on the goal line, like where you were like, yeah, I'm the King of Pentacles. Pentacles is finances, day to day, can be like health, can be, but it's like home, can be career. Wands and Pentacles are both kind of career. But it's like maybe you got that, you know, the white picket fence situation for yourself. And now we have 2 of Swords, Temperance, and 9 of Cups. So the two of Swords is a card of like creating obstacles to what we want. It's like it's like self-sabotaging basically, to protect our egos. Even if it's like we're self-sabotaging, and like how would that help our ego? How would that protect our ego? Because there's usually like a deeper narrative. behind the ego. So it's like if you're self-sabotaging, it's always because there's a narrative. There's always some kind of narrative. If this happens, then this bad thing about me. Or if this doesn't happen, then this bad thing about me. So that's the energy. I feel like it's like you might have actually accomplished a lot, or you might have what you want or something, but this narrative is coming in this week, self-sabotaging, or like this has been an energy that's been coming up for you, and it's like, um, she does, it's like she's kind of split in two. This is a very dualistic card. And this kind of speaks almost like to parts to me, like parts integration, like it's like being pulled in two directions. What we want on a deep soul level, and then what we feel like we have to do, or it's like being caught between a rock and a hard place, like not knowing which way forward, feeling like we can't have both, so we have to pick one, but neither one is the option that we want. And this has kind of a crossroads energy to me this week. Um, Actually, so this isn't really like the 2-1 at all. Now that I'm getting going. Temperance. And this again speaks to that kind of split. Um, Interestingly, it's sort of like the upside down, like mirror image of this. Um, yeah, and it's almost like she's being pulled in two different directions. She's being split. And this one's almost being pushed, being compressed. And temperance is moderation, it's balance, finding a balance between two things. So it might almost be like the vibe I'm getting is like internal pressure and out external pressure. So it could be like internally you're feeling split and externally you're feeling pushed. Like someone's trying to push you into a box. Someone's trying to like tell you how to be. Someone's trying to tell you what you should be doing. Here's how you got what you want. Um, Actually, and there's like a whole bunch of like little, I mean, it's like versions of himself in some ways, but I almost feel like it's like lots of different voices. It's like lots of different advice, lots of different opinions. Uh, and then the internal situation is just like feeling, um, I don't know, like ravaged or split. And then we have the Nine of Cups, which is sort of like a stark contrast to that. This is my BET Awards Grammy card. So this is like Cat that caught the canary. So I almost want to say this is the facade, like this is the like external thing that you're feeding or that you're showing people, and this is what's going on inside. Um, the split and this pressure. And then you're like, it's fine, darling. I'm totally fucking fine. I've got it all under control. And then we have the Princess of Swords and the Six of Wands. With the Princess of Swords, this is the Page of Swords, really, and that's like a student. Um, and the swords is the mental realm. So it is logic, it is intellect, it is academia, it is institutes, traditions, whatever, and it's technology. I almost want to say it's like this is almost like an aha moment. It's like she's risen above this. So these feeling like split, not sure what direction to move, external pressure to be good, to be fine. You know, like the temperance card is like equanimity. It's like fine, moderate. Usually I don't read the card this way, but this does feel like to me it's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's like external pressure to be okay and internal pressure to pick a thing or to commit to a thing or to like be a certain way, or it's like you're not like following, it's like you feel split between what you want and what you feel like you have to do, or there's a split between two things that you want or something like of that. And then it's like she's fine. She's fine on the outside. Like this is a bit of a three-ish card actually, because she's like, thank you, so long as I have my award, I'm good. But underneath there's like this crack that's happening. It's like you got the dream, and or you made it so far, you got so far with your goal, you got far enough that you can kind of like sit on your little couch throne above other people a little bit, but it's just like not feeling, I don't know if fulfilling, or it's just not feeling like you thought it would. But with the Princess of Swords, I do feel like this is an aha moment um of what to do. It's like you're right. You're seeing that this is like an illusion. You're seeing that like these keeping up with the Joneses things, okay, they haven't actually been as this almost like feels like some kind of type three crisis moment in some weird way of like maybe not like a full-blown crisis moment, but it's like that realization of if you've veered off your path, your heart, your true heart's path, not like the image path, that maybe this week or next week there's some kind of course correction that happens where it's like okay, I got what I wanted, or I got on this path, but then I realized it wasn't really what I wanted, and so now it's like trying to get into this equilibrium between like what you want and this outside pressure. But I also feel like part of the pathway out of that is to rise above it, to see it for what it is, to see it from a bird's eye view. Like she's looking down on the city with her intellect, with her sword, with her logic, with her mind. Um, she's stepping outside of the matrix. She's stepping outside of the system, outside of the. And there's these weird little like claw hand things that look like they're almost like channeling or something. It's like, and this like skull with a light beaming out of its head. There's like actually quite a lot of weird imagery in here. And almost like what is that man, the Da Vinci Man? That's like, you know, the guy on the wheel that's spread out naked, and it's like there's electricity, almost like a version of that going through him. And I almost feel like this is, yeah, like some kind of, it's almost like thinking. Not that threes don't think, but it's like just getting clear, like with the swords. It's like getting total clarity, having an aha moment, seeing things from the bigger picture instead of being mired in the emotional state, or mired in the image, upholding the image, or like pleasing other people, or like pleasing what you think you need to be, like serving the King of Pentacles. It's like moving beyond that and becoming a student again, having this like aha moment, being open, seeing the bird's eye view. What's really important here? What's really fucking important here? And that's what leads you to the Six of Wands moment, which is celebration. This is achievement. Like, but this is like a different kind of achievement on this reading, because it's not like the three chasing the success, chasing the validation. And I know some threes don't like, you know, people saying stuff like this, but it's like not chasing that, keeping up with the Joneses, um external validation, external like success kind of thing. It's like, yeah, I almost feel like it's like, well, you might have like a moment in the next week or two where you are recognized, where you are, um you unlock something, you achieve something, and people see it, and people are like, wow, great job. Um, but I almost feel like you don't care because of this. It's like, or this happens because of this. It's like because you let go, because you were just like, you know what, like not playing the game anymore. I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm not lying. I'm not saying that you're a liar, but it's like I'm not playing this fucking game anymore. I'm having, like, you have an aha moment. You see things in the bigger picture. You just see things as they are and you have clarity. And because of that shift, that internal shift, which, you know, may manifest externally, it does create an external. And because of that, like, internal shift, you manifest something externally that you want because you let go. Maybe because you let go of the image, because you let go of looking successful, because you let go of trying to appease people, trying to be a shining exemplar, trying to be seen as like smart or successful or something of that nature. These guys just disappear. And this all disappears, and all you're left with is just you're in your power, you're in your passion, you are doing what you're meant to do. And then things lock into place. People are like, wow, great job. But it's like, I don't care. Maybe a week ago, I would have cared. But this week, I don't care. I don't need this validation. It's like in this picture, he's almost like casting away the validation. He's like, I don't, thanks, don't need it. I don't usually see this card this way, but it's like, oh, and he's got like a cracked mask on too. It's like it's like half to 3/4 of his face is like showing, and it's like the mask is falling, and he's more confident than ever because he's like stepping into that authentic, and people are just like, oh baby, that's delicious. But the 3 doesn't care anymore. Yeah, I feel like there could be some really big, I don't want to say, because this might just be an epiphany, you know, that manifests some way in relation to your life. Oh shoot, I was okay, and I'm going to draw an oracle card message for you. Oh, okay. Water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. That's interesting. That doesn't really fit with this, but in some ways it does, because it's like maybe the rest will be what guides you to this epiphany. Kind of mirrors this actually, because it's like the moonlight. Well, it was just the moon, or this is a star. I'm not really sure. It was just the full moon, right? Yeah. And oftentimes we do get like shifts from that. So maybe you get this aha moment, this epiphany, this clarity because you are resting. You are like allowing yourself to just be with yourself. Like, all right, I know I have to do this today, that today, this tomorrow. I'm not going to think about it. I know I have to make a decision about this, that. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to be with myself. And maybe that is like drawing yourself a Epsom salt bath and just being with your thoughts, not putting on a podcast or music, just being with yourself. What do I want? What do I really feel like my life needs more of? Where do I want to change? Like, how do I want to show up differently? And just being with yourself. And I think that like that will clear up any stuff that you've been going through lately. It's like the answers will just come to you because they're always inside of you. But if we aren't listening for them, we aren't actually holding space for the messages, then they don't come to us, right? Or they come to us in external ways that are often not how we want those messages, because they can come as like a crisis or like something, because we're not listening to ourselves. So this one's for Enneagram 4. Oh. I feel like last week's wasn't misbehaved. So whether that was you, it's like I feel like these are kind of a continuum, so they're sort of like energies that bleed into each other and maybe span 2 weeks, or I don't know. At least that's how mine have felt. And this feels sort of a continuation of that energy. Not you getting read the riot act or you catching someone in the act or whatever, but again, these are general readings, so take or leave it. if it resonates. If it doesn't, also I interpret these in my own special Larissa way. So, oh, wow. This is a real 4 reading for this week, I think. So, this is a bit of a 4 reading. Okay. You might be emotionally going through it this week. For you, I drew the devil, which, some people get scared of, but I don't see it as a bad card. Um, but the devil is like someone who, the devil is like you're chained to your own vices, basically. It's like you can choose to go a different direction. You can choose to let something go. You can choose whether that's like a habit, an ego mechanism, whether that's a behavior, a toxic relationship, whatever it is. It's like you can choose to just say goodbye to it. The devil doesn't make you do anything. The devil just offers you these dark delights, and you can turn them down or you can imbibe. So imbibe in whatever way that shows up for you. And that might be, in your instinct, if you will. That could be toxic relationships. That could be sexual thrills. That could be self-present indulgences, like drinking too much, drugs too much, or well, like, I don't know, buying weird esoteric shit off the internet. I don't know. He has all these roots shooting out of his face and his body and his arms. And this is like kind of a technological card. Maybe this is like almost being online too much, or like he's got all these like little microchip pieces, and it's like this. I mean, okay, I don't know how many fours or fake fours or real fours are online too much, or like two on their computer, or two hooked into the grid, but it could even be speaking to that. But what this card is really just showing me is like overdoing it in some area where you almost feel like helpless to quit the thing, but it's like a self-created illusion. It's like he can just, you know, these guys are just sitting here like indifferent. And it's sort of like he's created some like fantasy around himself that he's like finding it hard to like pull himself away from. And then I drew the Four of Swords, the Princess of Cups, and the Sun. So the Four of Swords is kind of a take a nap card. It's like take a beat, meditate, shut out the outside world. So again, that could be speaking to if there's like toxic, whether it's online or it's like in your real world relationships, toxic things that keep drawing you in, like could be conflict, like drawing you in with, I don't know, like just toxic shit, is like this week you might be feeling called to, or you should consider just taking a beat, like take a break from it, sit with yourself, get to your center, meditate, do your spiritual practices. And then the Princess of Cups, and this is like a student of emotion. So again, this does feel like pulling yourself away from whatever's like feeding your emotional devil, whether that's like hate fueled, disdain fueled, romance fueled, whatever it is. It's like you almost need to like recalibrate and start fresh emotionally, and like the only way to do that is to like withdraw, which was easy for a withdrawn type. Although as a reactive type, if you're a 4 and not a 9, you probably get juiced off the hate fuel. So um, it can be a real topsy-turvy ride, I suppose. And then we have the Sun. So I feel like this is saying like pulling yourself away from whatever that thing is and taking a beat with yourself is like going to lead to what you want, right? And I also feel like it's like almost like the inverse of this card, where it's like he's seeking outside of himself. And again, I know fours are withdrawn, but it could be like this, like it's almost like you've been infected, metaphorically, or I don't know, literally, but it's like almost like infected by this outer, like, and this fantasy and this addiction, whatever, how this man is manifesting this habit, this toxic thing, and it's like infected you, and it's like you're not fully, it's like almost like pulled pieces of yourself away from yourself, where it's like you're not totally in yourself now. And so like the simple thing would be to, again, like just meditate, be with yourself, uh treat your emotional freshness. I don't know why I'm getting that. Freshness is such a disgusting word for some reason to me, but it's like moist. But I do feel like it's like an emotional reset is needed of some sort, like letting go, cord cutting, letting go of like things that are pulling your energy and being conscious of it, being conscious of like um what I notice for myself, um that may be helpful to you, is like, do you ever go in the shower and you get like an argument in your head, or like you go for a walk and you're like, I'm just gonna go for a walk, and then you create some like dark scenario and you get really like emotionally invested in it, and then it's like I catch I actively catch myself now because I often, and probably sixes do this too. I think any reactive influence people, where it's like you just like I would get myself worked up and furious, and then and I would be like carrying it around and like angry and like in a bad mood, and it's like, what the fuck did I just do to myself? I just did that to myself. Nothing happened, and I put myself in a bad mood. So I almost want to say is like if it's emotion related or like like outside reality related, it's like getting your energy back, like reclaiming that. And also in the background here, it's like these figures are like bowing and just dissipating, and it's like I almost feel like it's this sort of coming back. People can't get at you energy when you're in yourself. It's like they wither in your presence, they shirk, they shrink, they like, you don't have to do anything. It's just like this kind of almost embodying and not giving away your energy to the vampires. And I'm not one of those people who really believes that like the whole 90 thing of energy vampires, they stole my energy, I'm an empath. Like I don't really believe that so much, because I do feel like you're responsible for your own energy, you're responsible for um what you take on and what you let go of. But I do almost feel like it's like almost like this, if people have been living rent free in your head, it's like this week it's like just returning to yourself and like letting go of that, letting go of the haters, letting go of the whoever's, the usurpers, the interferers, the traitors, the copycats, the whoever it is, um, and being fully in your sun. And then it's like, instead of being like eaten away by this, infected by this black toxic tar shit, it's like you're just become like this regenerating, this self-regenerating kilowatt sunshine. There's a lot of like sort of, I need to look it up, but it almost looks like one of the is it like Shiva, or is it I can't remember, Kali or one of the, whoever the one is with has all the arms. It's almost like that. It's like a god energy of like, if like this is, if like that, whatever that devil thing is has been destroying you, it's like now you reclaim your power and you destroy it because you're no longer giving it your energy. And again, like I don't like that stuff in some ways, because it's like you're now, it's like blaming another person for you thinking about them. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really like to get into that paradigm, but I do feel like if there has been a situation, because there are literal energy vampire type people, and it's like, the people that come on at you online all the time, who are always scolding you or trying to engage you in arguments and all of this kind of stuff. But how we let that affect us is up to us. So those people are energy vampires, but we're never really a victim of them, in the sense that we don't have control over it, right? Like you can always say no, you can always walk away from a conversation, you can always just ignore somebody, you know what I mean? So going on a little soapbox here, but to me, this is like getting rid of that, like just blasting them, like nuclear sunshine. This could even be like almost lining to two in some ways, like you're tapping into your like magnificent shining heart, the like positive heart that like no one can touch, no one can pull you back down into the tar. It's like, I'm just going to choose to believe the positive, like maybe tapping into a little bit of that, or even line to one God energy of like, I'm God. Eight of Swords and Nine of Swords. So this is like definitely like self-entombment, misery, self-created misery, overthinking. But I drew the Starman. So, and this is David Bowie. This is the Magician. This is um, master of self, master of creative output, master of, and so I want to say like Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords. To me, this feels like Which Way Modern Man kind of situation where it's like Which Way Modern Man. You can how you move out of the devil, because I'm not seeing like you're gonna end up miserable. It's just you have a choice. It's like you can do the path that I just described, or you can continue on the devil path. Self-imprisonment. This is a very withdrawn energy. It's kind of 4-9 energy almost. It's like 4-6-9 or something. It's like she's mummified herself. She's got swords going through her. There's all these crows, and all these crows are trying to get in. And this is like a very much, or even like a 4-wing 5-wing 4 space where it's like they're trying to steal my goodies. They're trying to get at me, and it's like she's like just shrunk down into herself in order to avoid being like attacked by these ravens, these crows, these hungry little scavengers, trying to get her attention, trying to pick at her, peck at her. You know what I mean? So she's withdrawn into herself. So it's almost like saying it's like there's two ways to withdraw, right? There's withdrawal like this, where you just become so like fragile and scared of life and like hateful and depressed. You know, Nine of Swords is a depression card. It's like, and it's like a self-imposed, it's like just seeing the absolute worst. It's like not being able to be grateful for what you have, not seeing the positives. It's just total self-imprisonment, total self-imposed darkness. So that's like one way to withdraw, not the greatest way. And then there's the other way to withdraw, which is like withdraw to heal, to get into your power, to reset your emotions, to reset yourself, to step into your fucking magic. And this could be like creative. Get creative. How do you move out of this energy? Well, maybe it's being creative instead of just ruminating, right? Instead of just like, and again, with like, if there's like an aspect of social media to it, if there's like an aspect of technology where you're on your phone too much or whatever, it's like break that. It's like, do you want to be like, do you want to be in this energy? No, stank no. You know, this is more contemplative in a positive way. It's like creative, fresh. Such a gross word. I don't know why I keep saying it. It's like resetting the emotional set point and coming back to your true heart. Like, you know, the path to growth, expansion, abundance, like tapping into that line to growth instead of like the line to like ill health of the 4. And then you become the Starman if you do that, if you follow the path upwards, the health ladder. You know, and he's a Renaissance man. He's creative. He's self-generative. He is the universe. He's everything. And it's funny because yeah, these are both David Bowie. Whether you're a David Bowie fan or not, not even really a David Bowie fan. I just really like this deck, even though it keeps chipping. Yeah, I don't know why. Again, this is like a Which Way Modern Man like reading to me. It's like you can choose like this path and continue down this path of like self-destruction and like hate, self-hate or other people hate, toxic, blah blah blah. Um, or you can just like use it for magic and creation and actualization and all of that good stuff. So yeah, this whole reading just feels like very much like get out of your own way. Like stop um kind of going to that negative space. Like, and the thing is, like, too, it's like you can use negativity creatively. So I do feel like this is, yeah, just getting right with yourself this week. It's like, or if you've been like spiraling by whatever this devil represents for you, this habit, this, it's like doing something with it instead of letting it do something to you. It's like, what's that saying? It's like when you're in charge of your, it's like you, I don't know, like related to addiction. I'm not saying you're an addict or something because it can manifest in all these different ways, but it's like, does do you, like are you in charge of you, or is like the bottle in charge of you? It's like, how can something outside of you be in charge of you? Okay. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Well, I don't think there's many fours that wish they had a leader. Maybe a mentor, but not a leader. It's pretty cool. And you know what? This is two polarities. This is, I mean, both are beautiful, but if you're into this kind of imagery, but I think it is like saying moving out of the darkness into like the light of day. Um, Pulling yourself out of whatever this habit, this spiral, this pathway you've been on, so self-destructive sort of thing, and like choosing to pull yourself out of it, not having to have an intervention. And I don't mean necessarily about like drugs or alcohol, but it's just like not needing that metaphorical intervention, not needing another person or other people, your lover, your parents, your friends to be like, hey, I see your pain. Let's like pull you out now, brah. Like man, you really gotta like, it's like not like not that fours don't want that, but there is like, this kind of desire on some level to be witnessed for their depth and suffering. So it's like, don't I almost feel like, don't wait for that. All right, don't wait for that. That's not do you really want that? um Pave a new path, create a new pattern, create a new neural pathway for yourself. You do that by changing your habits. You do that by changing, saying no to things you said yes to, saying yes to things you said no to. You do that by changing. All right. All right, for Enneagram 5. Does Enneagram 5 need to know this week? Oh, no. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Oh, damn. It's going to be popping. Okay. Hmm. Got my mind on my money and my money on the mind. That's what I'm seeing. Or whatever your money is. That could be your intellectual coins. Okay, this is over. All right. Wow, so much. So much pentacular energy. So for your vibe, 6 of Swords and the Magician. So 6 of Swords, this is like a refugee card. This is like moving from one land to another, having to learn a new language, basically, having to be around a new culture, shifting out of one way of being into another. And it's like trying to put shit in the rear view, like trying to unburden yourself, trying to let go of baggage, moving on to like brighter, greener pastures, if you will. And then we have the Magician. And this guy's an entrepreneurial energy. Um, I almost feel like this is like you're like doing something totally new this week, like doing something totally maybe unexpected. So many pentacles. There's 4 pentacle cards after these ones. It almost makes me think like if you're not like starting a new job, it's like you're starting some kind of new financial endeavor or a new endeavor that will lead to some kind of financial outcome for you. It's like with your skills and talents, and maybe it's like something completely out of left field, like for like other people in your life, or it's like an unexplored territory for you. Like maybe you're like ditching something that you've spent a long time on, and you're like you've closed that chapter. Maybe you've already closed that chapter and you're moving into it, or you're closing it, or you're thinking of closing it and doing something totally different, finding a new way to do things, because like, and maybe like unburdening yourself of maybe whatever might hinder you from on this path. As a rejection type, you're great at that, especially in the people realm. The Those fives are impenetrable. So yeah, Ace of Coins, this does make me again think like new. There's like some kind of new financial opportunity coming to you, or like 3D opportunity, a beginning. When I say 3D, what I mean is like property, home, health, money, job. It's like weirdly, I'm not sure the full card, but um, and the archway, it's like a whole new land. Again, this could be like whole new land. Like, I don't know, maybe you're thinking about moving. Maybe you're moving for a job, or maybe it's just like getting a new place, or like starting somewhere new. Whatever, you get the picture. Seven of Pentacles, so this is like reaping what you sow, um, looking at your results. So I almost feel like it's like taking what you've already learned for this new opportunity, or this new like pathway that you're hoping to be on. Um, you might have to like learn some new skills, but this could also be like being able to bring in old skills, seeing what yielded results and what didn't, and maybe also like knowing where your strengths are and your weaknesses are, and then like being being a king, and kings don't do the work, right? Kings get other people to do the grunt work for them. So it could be like you're looking at the logistics this week or next week of this new opportunity, or this new thing that you're doing, or this move, or whatever it is, um, and seeing like how you can delegate, because King of Pentacles is like to me, he looks like a nightclub owner. Like he's got like his gold coins out. He's got like his scepter. Um, in one of my other decks, he's like decked out in coins, like on his, like he wears them all around his thing. So to me, this is like a kind of Taurusy, kind of lavish financial abundance card. Not that I think fives probably are very splashy with their money. I imagine they're quite the opposite, but I almost think it's like stepping into that like mafia boss energy of like how to make this like new opportunity, or this wherever you're moving, or this job, fucking whatever it is, like your bitch. It's like assessing everything, and how do you become like at the top where you're not really lifting a finger is almost the vibe I'm getting. So it's like, especially with the magician, he likes to like manifest, but maybe he doesn't really like to do the work that much. So I almost feel like it's almost like if you're doing this, I almost feel like then you're thinking about other people who can do this for you. It's like you already did the work. Are you like now you want to delegate, or how do you find these like skilled laborers so that you can sit on your throne to do whatever it is that you want? I have no idea how this would manifest into Five's life, but here it is. At least it's not crazy. This is why I didn't choose my David Bowie deck today, because I was like, I just want like a normal reading for fives. And normal reading I got. So Two of Pentacles. This guy is like juggling responsibilities, finances, moving one thing to another. So it could be like, yeah, this is so financial and so Pentacles, like so 3D realm. Uh, it could mean like it's almost like could be like moving one asset to the next. So it's like if you have a bunch of savings, you buy something with it, and that's like your investment instead of financial, which is probably a good idea given that they're going to crash the economy even further. Um, uh, it's kind of like a hot potato energy of like trying to figure out like which one's gonna like yield the best results for him, maybe like which one do I invest in, and also like with the water in the background and the ships mirroring this energy. I don't know. I mean, I can't, this is a general reading, of course. So if it's not like physically moving, maybe it's like metaphorically moving or something. I don't know what metaphorically moving even means, but um it's like it could be like you're planning to move, or so it's like you're shoring up your bets, like you're figuring out the logistics, you're delegating this new business opportunity, this financial thing, so that you can move. Like it's, yeah, this seems like a very 3D grind week or two. And then we end with like the Queen of Wands, and I love this card. She's hot. She's a sexy queen. Um, and she does things unconventionally. She does things the way you're not supposed to. She does what she wants. She's a fucking leader, but she also is a leader in the sense of like, like kings don't like to get their hands dirty because they've already put in all that time. Uh, they get other people to do it for them, and I feel like she has that kind of energy too. It's like she she's kind of manipulative, but in a fun way. She's got a sunflower, so maybe I was like, I I almost oh my hair. I almost think that this is like I almost get the vibe that it's like she's using the sunflower and the cat as like a lure. Uh is like, come to me. So whatever you're cooking up, this new financial scheme, this new investment, this new opportunity, this property, this moving, whatever it is, I feel like it, I don't know where I'm getting the energy of like you're trying to get other people involved because fives like to do everything themselves. But I almost feel like it's like you're trying to like lure people, or like you're trying to make this offer that you have very enticing, uh, so that you can move more into like the realm of the stuff that you would rather be doing, which is like hands off, just thinking, or magicianating and creating, ideating, being creative in some realm, or just like being the studier. Or this could even be like if this isn't you, like trying to pull people to you with your enticing sunflower, it could almost be like this is another person because it's a court card too. This could be like well, it could be a woman obviously, but it could be another person, an unconventional type of person, and you're like trying to juggle, like balance this thing with like your day-to-day, like the fucking pentacles realm of whatever this is. And like this woman is your passion, right? She represents passion, excitement, unconventionality, and she's just kind of sitting here with her throne and her puss waiting for you. So so yeah, star bathing. So light body, crystal grid transmission, activation. So this could be this could if the ending was like you're trying to pull people to you to do the grunt work for you, sort of thing. This could be like you putting out that bat signal and then waiting for the spirits, the people, to come to you from your transmission that you put out, and you're waiting for people to come to you. um or if what resonated more with you is like the Queen of Wands is like a person, and you're trying to figure out how to get to that person, or how to juggle this day-to-day stuff with, and there could be like moving to that person or them moving to you because of the Six of Swords, and also just there's like the ocean in the background, the lake in the background. It's like there's boats, there's travel. So it's like you could be, I almost want to say it's like astral pleasures or something. It could be like if this Queen of Wands is at a distance from you, or um, you're not actively able to see her for whatever reason, or him, or whatever this person represents, it could almost be like cybering or something, like astral sex or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe you're a weird sexual five. Okay. This reading is for Enneagram 6. Six of Pentacles. This is the Daddy, can I have my allowance money? King of Swords. which kind of mirrors that dynamic. Judgment. Oh boy, oh boy. You might be having a wake-up call this week, 60. Have you been getting money from daddy? Okay. Oh my God, these cards are getting absolutely shredded. I hope they reprint this deck on like another paper stock. This is like actually crazy how bad this paper is. Oh my God, too many cards. Okay, well, I'm gonna go with all of them anyway. Right, well, if you have a two in your life, whether that's a parent or a lover or someone that you're connected to, you might want to actually watch the two reading because this weirdly feels like related. Um, so yeah, for you, I have the Six of Pentacles, and this is like codependence card. This is an unhealthy financial dynamic or like power dynamic where it's like one person has something that the other person needs, and it's almost like a mechanism of control, or sometimes it's just like, again, like if you have a two in your life, I would watch it because this it feels like this week there might be like something coming up related to demolishing a kind of codependency of some sort. Because are you the one holding the coins up in the air up above to get someone to dance for you? You know what I mean? To get them to do what you want? Or are you the person who's like, Daddy, I need your money. Daddy, let me use your car. Daddy, help me, pay for this thing. This is a general reading. It goes without saying, but this won't resonate for every single six who might watch this. But for the person who's hearing this and is like, oh, fuck, that's me, could keep listening. Um, King of Swords and Judgment. So this to me is like, yeah, like you're getting a wake up call. Um, Whether you're the one in the power or the one that's not in the power. If you're, I mean, it would depend, right? Are you 6'9" or a 6'8"? If you're 6'9", you're probably the one with the hand out. Let's just be real. Okay, so King of Swords. This is Daddy wielding the power this week. Daddy's had enough, I think. Um, he doesn't look impressed. And his little baboon, he might be reactive. He might be laying down the law. Judgment. This is a wake up call card. Blasting out, cutting off, waking up, go get a job, um, kicking out of house, ending a relationship, um, slap in the face, hopefully not literally. On this channel, I do not support domestic violence. But this could be like a real cold splash in the water this week related to this dynamic, if you have this dynamic in your life. Daddy laying down the law. Should have added which, yeah, Tower and Five of Wands. I'm not saying Five of Wands is bad though. So here's what's going on here. Tower, this is obviously disruption, rug pull, shock horror. Something's going on in the next week or two, or maybe this is already going on in your life and these cards are just mirroring it to you to tell you how to move forward. But this might feel daunting, whatever this is. It might feel like I'm out in the cold. I'm all alone in front of the tower, whatever this is. And the daddy card could be the government. Are you on welfare? It could be the state causing you problems this week. Is it your boss? Your boss could be causing you problems this week. Maybe you're going to get fired. I don't know. I'm not trying to spread ill fear, blah, blah, blah. But this is what's coming up. Always things work out for our highest and best. Sometimes we have to be pushed out of the nest. Sometimes we have to be pushed out of a situation because we choose not to leave it. And that's what the Tower card is. So Like you can either, you can either exit the tower by being thrown out of the top floor on fire, going down with the burning building, or you can choose to go down the stairs where you still have enough time and go out the front door calmly before the building burns down. So that's what this is saying to me. It's like the rug pull might not happen this week or next week, like whatever, but you might sense it's on the horizon. You might sense like, oh fuck, I gotta get my shit together or something. And actually that does track with like some of the previous messages that have come up. So I want to say it's like either the rug pull is coming this week or next week, or you can sense that it's coming very soon. And so it's like, okay, if you can sense it, but you haven't felt it yet, then this is your get your shit together warning from the universe. And Five of Wands. So this is struggle, this is strife, but Wands is active. Wands is getting after it. Wands is doing something. And we end on the Princess of Wands, which is great. This is an independence card. And again, this is like mirrored in the two thing where there's it's almost the other player in the story this week. So Princess of Wands is like becoming independent, master of herself, like standing on her own 2 feet, rising to the challenge, um, finding her passion, her motivation, her drive, getting after it. And like, if you have been in a slump where you're like, oh, poor me, I'm sad, sad. The universe is like saying like, well, that's too bad because now you're gonna have to actually get up and get out of your bed. Um, stop asking daddy for money and go do something about it. And listen, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I ain't judging. Without going into my own story, I'm not judging. So 501 is like attacking the problem. It's like, you know what? Actually, that's cool. It's like, okay, it almost looks like they're attacking the structure or they're like fighting outside of the structure. It's like, this just popped into my head and I don't even know how this ties into this reading, but it's like that Beastie Boy song, like, you gotta fight for your right to party. Like, this is more the energy I'm getting from the 501s. And usually it's like, competition, facing off with your colleagues, dick measuring contest. But to me, this is more like an invitation to chaos, an invitation to independence, an invitation to face that which you will not have not wanted to face. Get the jobs that you don't fucking want to get. This is like fucking just facing it head on and like doing the shit that you don't want to do. But it's gonna like awaken something in you. It's going to, if you have been feeling in like this slump, like this sort of like dreary, codependent, or like even if it could even be like, I mean, it could be codependence on like a coping mechanism, but to me, this has daddy energy. So whoever the daddy is, doesn't have to be a man to be your mommy. I'm sorry, sixes. Uh, but like, I try to cater the reading a little bit to each type. So Five of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this is more like I'm just like getting all these movies and like I'm just getting all these 90s references for some reason. It's like Pump Up the Volume, that movie. It's like getting out your pirate radio and it's like what are you what is causing you to feel in this state? What is causing you to not want to take action or do anything? What is causing you to be dependent or like in this like rut? And then using that as fuel. It's like, I believe like that we have to change our internal reality if we really want to see results in our external reality. And I said this in another reading last week, and I don't remember if it was yours, but sometimes we have to change our external reality in order to like shift things in the internal reality, in order to like unstick ourselves so that we can change. Where it's like sometimes the environment is not conducive to change because it's like if we're surrounded by the same people, we go to the same places, we are doing the same thing every fucking day, it's like really hard to pattern interrupt. It's hard to interrupt that matrix pattern. So sometimes what's required is a total fucking like, like throwing the game in the air, like flipping the table. Sometimes that's what's required, and I think that like that's what this is this week or next week for you, six, or it's like you can sense it's coming. So it's like you can, all right, well, we'll see where all the game pieces go, or you can just get up from the table and be like, you know what, I'm going to take charge of the situation before it becomes a tower. Um, and I do feel like this is like an activating, you're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to muster energy. You're going to have to get after it. You, and if you've been in this kind of codependent space of weakness, I mean, listen, it could be the opposite way around, but where it's like if you've been controlling somebody else, this will be maybe a wake up call where there will be some kind of, where you've been, I don't want to say controlling, but it's like if you've been the one supporting somebody else, then the rug pull will be maybe that like you can't anymore, and you tell them that, and then that causes like this conflict. But that's what's needed for them to move into independence. So, pick which side of the story you're on, I suppose. But you know deep inside if you're you're the one who needs to change. So yeah, but it leads us to the Princess of Wands, which is, she's ambitious. She's a student. She's changing shit. She's getting after it. She's um learning on her feet. She's learning as she goes. And this can look like career, passion. Um, and it could be like, if you're in a relationship, if this is speaking to like a actual relationship that you're in, like a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, it could be like this moving out of this codependent sort of energy actually reignites the passion for you if it's been sort of dead because of this resentful, sticky dynamic that's been going on. And then it's like, what I like about this card is that she almost looks like she's like snapping her fingers. It's like, ta-da! So it's like, I feel like this is like inviting you, like this is going to create some like completely new reality for you. So whether that's finding a way to make your own money, or, I mean, we opened with the Pentacles card, so kind of going back to those like financial resources, job, whatever it is. But it's like if you're stuck in a situation where there is that power dynamic, it's like if you don't get the rug pull wake up call in the next week or two, you're gonna get it soon. So you might as well just fucking do it yourself. You know what I mean? And again, it's gonna be hard, but it'll be worth it. So I hope that's helpful, and I'll do an oracle reading, a little oracle message as a little cherry on top for you, sexy. Oh. Activated Earth. Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. Stonehenge we have here. Is this Stonehenge? Maybe. So yeah, I feel like again, this is like moving out of this kind of stuck or dependent energy, and it's like, or somebody else being dependent on you, and it's like maybe could mean moving to a new place, getting out of that space, going to like, getting another job or getting a job, getting out of the house, like doing something that feels more aligned to you. And so maybe this is also like, speaking of like, if you just like put out that desire into the world, something will appear, and it will just be like an aligned sort of thing. And because like it's almost like this portal, this channeled beam of light over this special place, I want to say that there's probably going to be like signs or something that will guide you. So if you're like, I don't know where to begin, you could literally just say it out, declare it into the universe, put it on a message board, or just start like go walk around. If it's like job related, or like you have to find a new place or something of that nature, and it's like there will be signs that help you see, that are like, oh, here's something from the universe. And it's like, even if it's not like your ideal ultimate thing for like 5 years from now or something, just take it, if it feels like right to you, but it's like, just take it for now, right? You can always change after. So yeah, that's your message 6. Reading for Enneagram 7. I feel like my reading last week was kind of shitty, so hopefully this one's better. I feel like that was like that was my bad. I sort of interpreted it too lazily. So, oh, okay. Ooh, okay. So if you're 7 wing 6, you might want to listen to 6 as well, because we've got double wake up calls here with the judgment card. Rug pull or imminent rug pull if you do not change. How fun. It's not good for me. Oh boy. Okay. Yep. 7 and 6 are getting course corrected. All right. Do I want to do another one more card maybe? Okay. Interesting. All right, well, let's just start. So for you, I have the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords. So the High Priestess is like a woman who exists between polarities, between black and white, between she's like a master of the subconscious and the conscious realm. Um she doesn't really exist within structures, you know what I mean? She's kind of doing her own thing. She sees beyond the veil, and she can think outside of the box, which is obviously a very 7 gift, is to be able to sort of like where, well, unless you have like excessive fixes, but often we're able to see outside of the box, maybe more than a lot of other people, which is a gift, but also it can be make us seem crazy, just other types. And the Ace of Swords, I almost want to say this is like moving out of that liminal space. I don't know. I'm almost getting pick a side. So yeah, with the Ace of Swords is almost like if you haven't been like using these gifts, like these however that manifests for you. So it's like um mental, psychic, therapist, some kind of spiritual gift. I mean, and swords is like the mental realm, um, education, academia, um, and she's like a creative card. She's like seeing beyond the world, right? Beyond the realm. And so, like, however, this sort of like gift, and I do feel like this is like a 7 gift in many ways. I almost want to say it's like with the Ace of Swords, it's like taking it more seriously or using it for some higher purpose, like actually doing something with it instead of just like dicking around or just, yeah, it's almost like you're being called. Recruited isn't the right word. It's almost like I see all these little don't know why there's all these little golden babies, golden embryos, and a lot of these cards, but you need to put more higher purpose into what you're doing. Like you need to, and I won't make like I don't know what kind of 7 you are. I often like go into like research spirals. Like I 9 to 5 pretty hard, and I just like study and study and study, and I do actualize stuff, but I don't do it a lot with like intention. Um, and I almost feel like this Ace of Swords is saying, like, you need to start doing with intention. You need to start, like, choosing the path. You need to pick a path and commit to the path. And it has to be something that's, like, aligned to a higher purpose. And with, like, these little babies, these little phantom babies, it's like, I'm one of the 7s who's like kind of, more self-oriented, narcissistic, less service-oriented, that more applies to like the double, triple posy 7s. Um, and but I do feel like there's some sort of calling, this like higher calling to like help others. Um, I don't know, and they might be kids or children, because of the baby thing, but it could just be like that new energy helping when maybe it's like younger than you, or it's like souls who are not as like evolved, or they're like not as far along on their spiritual journey as you are. Not that I'm very far on my spiritual journey, but uh there is this kind of almost like a teacher quality, or like it's almost like you're being called this week or next week. You're needed. Like this is gonna get weirdly emotional reading for this, because I feel like I woke up with this sense this morning, um that something's on the horizon, and like I'm gonna have to be pulled out of my little hermit cave of studying and actually have to like get in the mud. And I'm not really I'm I'm a double head type with a head type wing on my heart fix. It's like I'm very self-contained little cerebral creature. But to me this is saying like your help, like you're needed. Whatever your special high priestess seven gifts of these weird ideas and open mind and magic, creativity, play, whatever this is, it's you're being called to like a higher purpose now. And I don't know how that will manifest in your 3D reality. You might just see it, like you might just feel it. Like I literally felt it this morning, like while I was asleep, and then I was like, I just kind of woke up with this like download or something. And I don't know if like that this will resonate with other sevens, but I feel like it's like the sword and the stone is being activated. It's like Excalibur. It's like you need to pull your stone out of the rock now. You need to like there's a battle and you're gonna need to like bring your sword. With the wake up call, I don't know what's going to happen. I've been feeling really weird about the world lately, and I did do a world reading at the beginning of this, which I don't even know if I'll leave in, to be honest, because it was kind of fucked. Um, but maybe I did, maybe I didn't. We'll wait and see when this goes online. Um, Judgment is a wake up call card. It's like raising from the dead um, into action. Uh, it's not really judgment so much as it's just like, I mean, it can be judgment of like, what have you been doing? But I personally have felt like just so mentally and emotionally exhausted from the state of the world that I kind of bottomed out for months. The last few months, I've been really just like dragging myself across hot coals. And I don't know if that really resonates with other sevens, but this is a wake up call. This is again, this is like I'm getting this call. It's almost like I feel like it's almost like a call, like a cosmic call, like a higher purpose. You know, especially if you work with other people or you like help people or you have some kind of knowledge that can help people. It's almost like I really feel like there's like going to be something that activates for you in the next week or two where it's like, this is important. Like you're being summoned to your place in the matrix now. And the Empress, so she is, I mean, she's the mommy. She's got the juicy, milky titties. She is fecundity. She is fertility. She is creativity. Oh, and there's more baby. There's more like little embryo babies. I'm just like really, I've noticed them while I've been reading them, but I'm really noticing them for some reason today. But um, yeah, I'm getting this like message of like help the children or something. Like provide the nurturance, provide the sustenance to these weak little souls, these like innocent, undeveloped souls, whether that's literal children or young people or like just people who are really like at the very beginning or not even started their spiritual journey. Like it's like taking it's like becoming that muse, taking those channeling those powers, becoming that mother figure. This is almost like turning my stomach, to be honest, like having this reading, because I do feel like this is really resonating and it's grossing me out. But it's like, yeah, it's like becoming this sort of force, the central figure for whoever whoever these like little souls are. yeah, and this sort of mirrors the sixth one in an inverse way. Some of them are weirdly connected today because there's a tower moment. So I do feel like whether it's like something out in the world, the one with the sixth one felt more specific to sixes. Like they're gonna get a wake up call, like a splash in the face, like in their interpersonally. Um, but this almost feels like an outer reality wake up call. The tower rug pull. This feels like something out in the world maybe is going to happen. Or I mean, it might be in your personal life too. It could be um, something out in the world affects you personally. Out like, but again, it like just I don't feel like something bad's going to happen to sevens. Like I don't feel like it's. And then you have this massive tower moment where your life goes to shit. I almost say it's like something out there happens, and like you need to be there for it. Like this is who you are and who you need to be. Well, minus this card, but it's like there's the wake up call coming, and the wake up call I think is like the tower, whatever this thing is, and it's like this is what's needed of you answering that call. I mean, you don't have to. We have free will, right? But if this resonates with you, then just consider it. Um, and the world came after the tower. So again, I feel like this is like mirroring this world, a world event, or ugh, or some kind of like external reality challenge that comes up, and it's like you're like she's the end of the journey, she's the end of the fool's journey, and so it kind of pulls me back to this idea of like needing to be like that mother figure, that informed figure, that knowledgeable person to help people. Um, she's got her little typewriter, her papaya seeds. She's got her cosmic things, her little sigils, her magic, her creativity. Um, the world card in this deck weirdly gives me a very religious feel too. So it kind of mirrors that spirituality if you're like a spiritual seven, but it's like channeling. I almost want to say it's like becoming home for people, like being like a beacon of light, or like, and the way that she's like holding herself, like it's like she has this like snake wrapped around her one arm, and then she has like these sort of, it's like she's gripping this knowledge, this it's coming out of the, interesting, I just noticed that, but it's like it's coming out of this typewriter, and she's like crushing it. It's like, oh, she's also like twisting this DNA strand and turning it into like these little gold fragments. Yeah, it feels like it's like a transmuting. It's like needing to be strong for other people over the next week or two. It's like, and maybe honestly, this feels like a catalyst reading to me. So this this feels like a catalyst reading to me. So I don't think that this is just like a fleeting energy. Like I think this is like a higher purpose activation for the sevens that this resonates with. Like especially again, if you're like spiritual, you're in healing, you're around like kids or like people in need, people that you help, service, yeah, so creativity, spirituality, whatever it is. And it's like being, I also want to say it's like a soft warrior or something. It's like with the Empress coming in, it's like you need to, it's like coming in with like the precision of like the sword, but with the gentleness of the Empress. Do you know what I mean? So it's like not social justice warrior energy. Do you know what I mean? It's like this way, children. This way. Don't you worry, honey darling. I'll protect you. Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. You know what? Blah blah blah. It's like almost like It's like you have to be strong on the inside, and it's like you have to be like this on the inside, almost like master, like just fucking present and like with your skills, and then like the Empress on the outside where it's like inviting and helpful and like yeah, like using that posy magic. I'm a very reactive seven, so that's sort of like sometimes like a bit of a foreign concept to me, but whew. Prince of Swords, which is kind of interesting after me just saying pulling people in with some kind of soft, like inviting, posy vibe thing, but Prince of Swords, so it's like he's got, what does he have? I just noticed that too. He has engraved on his body with his battle scars. I think he did this to himself. Victory, no future, no rules. No rules. Very seven. And he has a stick of dynamite, and he's like, oh, I just noticed, and there's like, I don't know, like a religious figure. Is that Jesus? I don't know, like sitting in the background. It's like, yeah, there's just this like spiritual warrior, I guess is the energy that I'm getting from this entire reading. It's like you're being called into your spiritual warrior role, and you can answer the call or you can ignore it. If this resonates with you, answer it. If it doesn't, then I don't know. Check back next week. Um, but he has like holes in his hand. He's self-sacrificed probably on some level, but he's not a pussy. Like he's not a soy. You know what I mean? He's not like, let me help you, anything you want. It's like he's like it's like I'm self-sacrificing because that's what needs to be done. Or it's like intentional. Do you know what I mean? It's like strategic with the swords here. It's like he's he's being strategic about what he's doing, and he's not leading with force. He's leading with like spirituality, he's leading with creativity, he's leading with like healing and help. And the one thing that I always notice about this card, but I never remember to say, maybe because it wasn't meant for any other reading, there's the blood on his face almost looks like a, I can't really see it in this camera, but it almost looks like a barcode. And I feel like what this is saying is like it's like refusing to be part of the matrix, refusing to be part of the system. It's like I'm not being ruled. I'm not being scanned. I'm not being put in your database for you to track and trace. I am more than just a fucking barcode. I'm the prince of fucking swords. And I'm gonna blow up your fucking system. And how I'm gonna do that is like this. Because truth and love always wins. So it's almost like I feel like you're being called again, like into this kind of battle, metaphorically, or maybe not. Um, but yeah, it's like how you win is by being a guidance, like a source of guidance, like a sunlight beam, um, having answers, having hope, being able to help, not going into fear when the tower moment happens, not allowing the quote, quote the raven nevermore. Like, no, I'm eternal. We got like Jesus and all these beings and stuff in the background. Maybe Anubis, I don't know. There's a lot of like imagery in this one that I'm only just noticing, but it's like I will blow up any portals I need to get through. Like this reality does not confine me. Your reality does not confine me. Your scanners do not confine me. Your barcodes do not define me. You cannot confine or define me. I create this reality, and I am going to bring it into alignment with my skills and gifts. All right, legit. That's the most intense reading I think I've done so far for these, mostly because that's my type, but um, what extra little message does seven need? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I used to joke a couple years ago that it would be sevens that saved humanity from what's going on this planet. Um, maybe it will be. And sometimes I think sevens don't see their gifts of their type, because oftentimes when we're younger, when we're adults, even we get like shamed a lot, um, for being weird, thinking outside of the box, being too zany, being too crazy, or making light of stuff. And but that's also their gifts. It's our gifts too, especially in times of darkness. Loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction. Let God in. Oh, weird. Oh, so almost I'm seeing this card as like, oh shit, and this one two came out. Okay, so I'm gonna read both of them because this is connected. Called Soul's gift and training. It's time to step up. Whew. I've only been reading one for the other types, but two flipped. So I'm trying not to cry. Called Soul's gift and training. It's time to step up. Yeah, so this to me, this is like the let God in thing. It's like God, whatever that means to you, let your higher presence in. Loosen your grip, your ego grip. Become become the Beatrice Chestnut Seven. Social seven. Become the mistype of the seven, if you will. You know. So all types have coping mechanisms, right? But sevens are like avoidance. Like um it's like pushing away. That's not going to be fun. Oh, it's going to be hard work. Oh, I don't want to have to focus on that. It's boring, or like this kind of stuff. And like a density addiction. Like sevens are also the hedonist type, so it can be like drinking your sorrows away, smoking weed all the time, doing gummies, whatever. And it's like saying, it's like, nope. Get high on your own supply. Get high on the universe's supply. Let God in. Surrender to your higher calling. There's a quote by Marianne Williamson that I really like that's like, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small doesn't serve the world. It's time to step up. So yeah, seven, I don't know what's going to happen for you in the next week or two, but maybe this will be a story that unfolds over a few months. But just remember this reading, I think, because I do feel like this was like a divine message of sorts that was meant for like the spiritual sevens. So yeah, this reading is for eight, for type 8, Enneagram 8. What does 8 need to know this week, next week? I feel like they've been pretty good for you lately. Actually, I think last week it was like also about like these kind of fears that were maybe coming up related to like you stepping up into your power, or being like given like new responsibilities or something of that nature. And um, Two of Swords kind of reflects that energy for your energy. It's like it can be like a like self-initiated solace, like just kind of thinking meditative type of card. But it's also can be like a rock in a hard place. Like she feels like it's like almost like withdrawing to figure shit out, because maybe she's not clear about the path forward, or oops, split. Or it's like picking between two things or two people even, two paths, and she's not sure. Oh wow, okay, so interesting. Let's see if any other cards want to come out. So I have the Lovers. So you could be, I mean, this could be a literal choosing between two people card. You could be picking. Maybe you're in a love triangle, or maybe you're part of a love triangle. Maybe you're the one. um, two is usually moving towards, two is usually making a choice. Um, so I'm kind of like, pick your position, I guess, but it could be you feeling torn between two people. This could be friends. Um, this could be social related stuff. There, the Four of Pentacles did come out though, so which is a finances card, obviously. And like practical 3D realm. So this could be related to like your job, your work. It's a scarcity card, so it could be fearing. You could be fearing like if you end one relationship or if you pick someone over the other, like you're gonna be financially fucked or something. It's like, or you could even be like picking between a person and your job. Like it's almost like if you're in a relationship and they're like interfering with like your earning capability or like they're causing a lot of problems for you with your job where you're like maybe like one of them feels like the safe option because of financial reasons and one of them feels like a more dangerous option. I'm just going to keep reading, so I'm not really sure if this is 100% what it is. King of Swords. So I almost, here's how I'm kind of seeing it as like, because this does feel like a choice. Um, and it could be a choice again, like between two people, or like it could be like romantic. It could be a partnership of some sorts. It could be social options. It could be like two options that have obviously some connection to people. And I feel like how these almost came out was it's like four. So the four. So with the Four of Pentacles, like I said, it's like you're worrying about money, kind of. And then the King of Swords, it's like also like a practical, logical kind of guy. He could have like manifested. Okay, I'm just gonna look at this as like I'm gonna look at this as like a love reading or like a partnership reading. Okay, so like again, if this doesn't resonate, just whatever, don't watch it. But it's like picking between I think the guy who's manifested, like he has everything that he wants. Um, Maybe picking him because financial security. And then there's Prince Charming. And again, this could be like different, like this could be women, right? But this is the energy. So we have Prince Charming, the Knight of Cups. This is the charmer, the fun one, like, woo, yes, dear darling, daddy do. Romantic, right? And then the World. So this is like the more fun option, but maybe this guy's like frivolous with money or something. Like maybe this guy is like all over the place. Maybe he's a bit of a player too. I mean, and I feel like this guy's better in bed too. Like he's got like this feels more enticing. This feels more sexy. Um, with the woman like the world walking through the portal. It's very like birth, sexual creation. My cup runneth over. Let's be sexy, darling. This is like the more enticing option. Perhaps if you follow your heart with the cups here, with the emotions, you're more emotionally activated by this person. Again, this could be love. This could be some other kind of partnership, business partnership, or friend or something. And then, but then this person's maybe more like practical. Like They've they have the wealth, they're stable, but they might be like a penny pincher, or it's like they've got that material thing on lock, and this guy's more like emotionally driven, and more exciting. Maybe he's a traveler too. Maybe he's like a daring do, um, seen the four corners of the universe. I don't know, maybe he's a hippie. Maybe he's a dirty hippie. And you're like, this guy's fun, but like, is the bongo playing really gonna get me the dream house that I want? But this guy has it, but he's boring. It's not sexy. He's a tightwad, probably controlling too. Five of Wands. This is a dick fight. So again, I don't know. Is this a love reading? Is this a partnership reading? I feel like I don't know what eights this will vibe for, but this does feel like a choice. You're picking between these two energies, all right? Stable but stingy. fun, fun, but maybe more chaotic, you know? Charming but chaotic. Sword fight, or rather wand fight, dick fight, duking it out. People might be fighting, these two people or groups or whatever the situation is. Maybe this is a job, I don't know. Might be fighting over you, and or it might just be an internal fight that you're going through. Like which one will win? This is sort of the vibe I'm getting. Seven options. Yes, this is just keeps repeating, choosing energy. So I'm just gonna go with this reading. Who will win? Well, you're gonna have to make a choice, I think, this week or next week. The choice needs to be made. We have the Queen of Emotions, and she guards her emotions. She can be a little manipulative, withholding her love. Is this you? Whether you're a man or a woman. And then we have the Hierophant. This is marriage, too. This is tradition. This is like doing things like by the book, doing things um, the traditional way. And Eight of Cups, he's turning his back on the options. Fuck, maybe you're gonna like, maybe neither of them. Maybe you don't want either of them. Maybe you don't want either of these options. Interesting. Okay, so let's see if I can. Um, or this is like your parents, or like this is like some kind of internal voice, or there's like this sort of. Do they pass the sniff test? Does it even matter? Is there long term? Will they fit in with my religion, or like, will my parents approve? Will they convert to my faith, or do I want to convert to one of theirs, or I don't know. What is this really telling me? But the fact that it ended on this, no one to hold him, no one to fold him, I almost feel like you're gonna walk away anyway. Maybe neither of these options is actually one that you want. Because if this is you, which it might be, or like what you're representing in your energy, what you're looking for, she's withholding her emotions. She's like making them dance for her. She's making them dance for her like little monkeys. But I don't even think that either of them win your heart. I'm going to draw one final thing. Do you walk away from them? What happens? Are you going to walk away from both options? Or will you pick one? Five of Swords. Winning, but at what cost? And he's left alone after the battle with all of his swords. After the sword fight, you know what I'm saying? Are you a Lorena Bobbitt of the heart? Ace? Um, And it does look like it's like he's looking at these two guys walking away, looking, one of them's crying, one of them looks sad, and he's just like, whatever. So whatever the situation is, I think you're like over it. None of this kind of stuff has been coming up in your other readings, so it's a little bit out of left field from what the other vibe has been. But yeah, I just feel like the overall thing is making a choice. You're making a choice in the next week or two, and it looks like you're choosing neither. So if you've been like trying to duke it out, like figure out which way to go with something, which person you want to be with, which company you want to be with, which job, which friend group, which whatever, it's like I think that you're just like, you know what? I don't want either. They don't fit in with my life plan for myself. And then you walk away with nothing, or you get the swords, I guess, so you get their egos, their shattered egos, to you for your trophy shelf, perhaps. And you're just starting over. You're looking again. You're walking away. You're done. So, I mean, the way that this looks is like it's probably been a background story for you because it kind of, I'm not really sure how else I could have interpreted this reading, but yeah, heartbreaker. You're a heartbreaker, dream taker. Your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Uh-oh, we don't want accountability at the end of this reading, do we? Well, she's like a girl standing at the top of a hill looking out at it to create whatever kind of reality she wants. So, you know what? Actually, I think that this is like almost saying like, you didn't settle. If it's not the dream life, then fuck it. If it's not the ideal relationship, then fuck it. I'm not settling. I create my reality. I'm an artist. I'm a Lorena Bobbitt artist of my reality. Right, this reading is for Enneagram 9. Hangman. Oh no. Not again. Which way do I go? Which way? Which way? What do I do? What do I choose? Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. I heard those things that you say or do. Up on you. So for you, we have the Hanged Man, and sometimes the Hanged Man is positive, and sometimes it's negative. Like in this situation, how I'm reading it is almost like it's like you're kind of losing your shirt in this whatever this process is. It's like you're losing money or you're losing something that is important to you, or maybe it's not that important to you, but there's like something that's kind of being lost while you're in this sort of limbo state where you're deciding, where you're waiting, while you're in the waiting room, while you're chilling, while you're trying to figure out your next step. It's like maybe it's almost like you feel like it's like diminishing returns at this point where it's like I can't move forward or I don't know what to choose. But every day that I'm not choosing or every day that I'm stuck here or not doing something, I'm like losing possibilities or money or connections or whatever the thing is that you feel like you might be losing. But I mean, he does have his hands behind his head, like he's kind of like, so and he's like holding the hat onto his head that's being weighed down by an anvil. So I feel like it's like you're choosing this on some level, or it's like you figured out how to make it work for you. Maybe is really what that means. It's like, yeah, okay, you're losing some coins, there's something that's being lost here in this limbo state, but you figured out how to make it work for you in the time being. You're going to make the best of the situation, however that comes up for you. And there was a couple cards from the 7 reading that came out. You can watch that one if you have a 7 picks, maybe. That one's more about like being called to like a spiritual, higher spiritual calling. Not necessarily getting that from this one, but um, the high priestess is like she is like mastering the liminal space between the veil. Like she sort of slithers in and out of realities. Like she's got, maybe she's got like a lot of interests, or it's like she's creative and she's like, doing practical things, or she's like spiritual and she's like, it's like she's not existing in just one way. Like she's not just showing up in the world as like, this is me and I am like just this one dimensional person. It's like, but I think maybe that's part of the problem actually with this. It's like not being able to make a decision because of that, maybe. Like the Ace of Swords, it does say like making a choice. Like you, it's almost like you have to make a choice, I think, to get out of the limbo. Um, and you might not want to make that choice. Um, yeah, this card is super weird because there's like all these little golden embryos, these little golden babies. And it does kind of feel like it's like Sophie's choice or something. Like it's like to point, you're gonna have to point your sword in one direction. It can only go in one direction. This is like Ace of Swords is connected to purpose too, clarity, purpose, like focus, like just picking the thing because it's going to be hard work, but like do it, just pick the thing. But it's like whichever direction you point your sword in, it's like you're only going to get one. You know what I mean? You're not going to get the whole swath. So I think it's like choosing which golden baby to uh focus your attention and your energy and your efforts on. And I think that like the five of pentacles to me is just like a fear card. um because it's like the fear of being left out in the cold, abandonment, making the wrong decision, fucking up. uh it's also a card, it's like a card of loss, but it's like I think it's more fearing the loss than loss. Or like there could be a loss because you make a decision to move you out of this hanged man waiting room state. But um like that's ultimately what will lead to the Two of Cups, which is, love, being taken care of, home, like where you want to be, like home physically or just inside, like where you're with another person, where your soul tribe, your partner, your best friend, your, so I think that like, yeah, this is saying like no matter what choice you make, you will be supported. It's just moving out of that hanged man energy. So it's like you don't have to like it might feel like this if you have to make a choice, you have to cut something, you have to, because it's like when we say, it's like, was that we say yes to something, we're saying no to something else. But when we say no to like everything, we're not saying yes to anything either. Or when we're saying yes to a whole bunch of things at the same time, we're kind of saying no to everything at the same time too, because you can't, gee, I should take a note from this, to be honest, like listening to myself talk about it. But it's like if you really want to move out of kind of unmovement, it's almost like and as a withdrawn type 9, it makes more sense to just pick one particular thing to focus the energy on, instead of trying to spread yourself across like 50 things like a 7 or something. um well, they fuck themselves, I fuck myself over too in that realm, but I tend to be able to muster probably more than 9s would when I do that. So I think it's more like the fear of like making the wrong decision and then that decision leading to like ruin. So I think it's just saying like make whatever choice you make, you will be supported, you will be cared for. It's just about making a choice. And then we end on the 7 of Pentacles. And I mean, this card can be like looking at the hard work that you've done and everything else, but I think in the context of this, it's more like I want to zero in on the smelling the roses aspect of this card, because it is like appreciating what you have, or tending to and growing the thing that makes you most excited, the thing that makes your heart beat. You know what I mean? Like instead of like being focused on the money, or if this is related to money and like, like fearing like, oh, like I can't move forward because like I keep losing money, or like not like fearing that if you move, with the kind of the pentacles energy in here of like if I move forward or if I make a decision or if I do this or don't do that, then I'm gonna end up with like nothing. But we know that like just making a decision and moving forward will be the right call, and that you'll be okay. um Seven of Pentacles, I almost see like he's not looking at the pentacles anymore. He's not like focused on the loss, the scarcity, the money part of it. He's focused on what his heart desires. You know what I mean? He's focused on like the life, the nurturing, the beauty, the aliveness, what is working instead of what's not working. It's like changing your focus. So I think like making a decision this week or next week, if there's something that you keep waffling on, like where it's like, I don't know if I should do this or should I do that or should I, whatever. It's like just make that decision, and then the path will reveal itself. I almost feel like this feels reminiscent of another reading I already did for you, but maybe it's not. Um, but this is a nine problem, so nine and nine fixed problem. So yeah, I was just zeroing in on that, the beautiful thing that the rose, like choosing something and trusting that it will be the thing that's meant for you, especially if you do it from your heart. Um, and tapping into your like inner intuition, your inner guidance system, your high priestess, like on like a deep soul level, what the choice is, what to do, what to do. So just sit in that and allow that message to come to you, and then commit to it. And if in your body, when you make that choice, you get tight, like where you're like, no, 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 wait, I don't really want to do that. I want to do this other thing. Then do the other thing. You know what I mean? If you make the decision and it's like, I feel like a relief on some level, even if it's sticky, then do that. And then when you do that, make that decision, focus on what is working, focus on love, focus on the relationships you have, focus on the beauty, focus on what you can grow together, what you can grow by yourself, what you can um yeah. Okay. Oh, and your my throat hurts now. Okay, and now I'm gonna do a final message for nines. Oh, inner earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. That feels perfect. Again, reassurance. Just make a decision, like it'll be okay. You will survive this. New solutions and new beginnings. So new earth, or inner earth. And that's like, speaking to like bounty, abundance, like everything you need is already here. You have it all inside of you, and outside of you too. It's all around you. Maybe not in your current conception of reality, but it is available to you if you choose to look for it or to see it. So yeah, you got this, nine.